Hey, it's DJ Roob from Not So Serious Radio on KKSM, and I have the pleasure of being on a Zoom conference with the elephants in the room, and they're also known as Parker Edison and DJ GarGar. Hi, guys.
Yeah. How's it going?
Afternoon.
So we're here to talk about this new album that they're putting out. It's their first album together, and it's called E-Motion Pictures, and it comes out this Friday the 13th.
Yes, sir.
And I say there you go. I say we talk about that one, but before we do, I think the listeners would like to know, like, how did you guys connect? What made this happen? Was it hiphopmatch.com or I don't know.
Hip Hop eHarmony.
Yeah. There you go. So let's hear it. Once upon a time.
Oh, me? In like 2000, probably 6-ish, 7, I always ended up on the same hip hop shows as Parker, with a group I used to be in, the Knee Highs. And so we played, probably dozens of shows over the years. And
yeah.
So I'd seen him around, and I was definitely a fan of Parker's work and all that. And I needed a replacement fill-in for a Jumbotron show probably 2-3 years ago. And I called Parker, and he agreed to do it. And then while we were practicing for that show he was filling in, I already had the itch to kind of want to do a more straightforward hip hop album. And I just thought, this guy is the perfect one to do it with. So I asked him, and he was into it, and we just kind of dove in. And
when was this? A couple of years ago?
A couple years ago.
Okay. All right. So Parker said yes. You asked him out. He said yes.
Yeah, he did. he swiped right or whatever, left or whatever, which way the correct way is. I don't know.
He swiped to get you into his team.
Yay.
So, all right. So you had a planning meeting. You sat down at the war room. You said, "This is what we're gonna do. We got this and this, and this is our conflict." Like, how did you map out the album? Did you each bring like existing stuff to it, or is it all fresh and new?
I remember Gar hitting me up and being like, after we said, yeah, we'll do the record, he hit me up and he just started being like, I think he started a dialogue. He was like, yo, what are some things that you've wanted to address on records and you haven't? And what are some things that you're thinking about right now? And then that kind of started this dialogue. And then we started communicating with stuff that we were sending and watching and listening to, and started using those to bat around ideas. And then that's it. And then we would get these ideas, and he was doing beats and sending them over. And I think the very first song that we did might have been Confetti, which is the first single or second single that's come out off the album. And we just did that, just bat around ideas and put those ideas, the ones that were rolling along, put those into songs. And
how much of it was in person versus just back and forth sending files?
Well, the ideas were definitely going back and forth in email, and he would send me links to ideas or songs he thought might be cool to sample, or just lyric ideas, song ideas that he had. That was all through email and text and stuff and phone calls. But yeah, I would take everything he was giving me and kind of formulate it in my brain. And then, if he sent me a song, a sample that I thought was really cool, I put the beat together and I'd send it to him. And then we would meet in person. He'd write something to it. We'd meet in person in the studio. He'd rap it. He'd deliver the song. And then, we just kind of went in that way in person, as far as, recording the music and getting a feel for like what we're going to do with each song and then across the whole album.
Okay. So did a theme develop along the way for this album, or was it random?
I was going to say lyrically, it definitely, the theme definitely came together. Production wise, I think the theme always in my head, and I even told Parker this at the very beginning, I wanted there to just be like a good energy about the music.
Yeah.
I'm a guy who likes the hype, energetic, grandiose kind of stuff. So whatever he sent me, something that was very like epic sounding, I probably used it. And I think if you hear, you know, if you kind of hear the whole album in an arc, there's definitely energy, even on the more chill songs. There's just an energy about the music. But
Oh, yeah.
you know, Parker nailed the lyrical arc of the album for sure. Like he just opened up, and I told him to be as honest as possible and you know, relatable as possible. And I think he killed that part of it.
Yeah. And there's some raw honesty on this album. In fact, I texted Parker a week or so ago about a particular track called Milk Cartons. And I said, that sounds like a firsthand experience. Is that real? Is that real? And you said, yeah, it's real. And
Based on a true story.
it's brutally honest, and it's compelling to listen to, but
Definitely.
it's heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what happens when you have like a real conversations, and then you're able to just kind of take the energy of that real conversation and be like, all right, now we're going to put it on music. I think that's a key part of that let us process some of those bigger ideas so they could be real fluid, and we could have like thought dexterity and move
Right.
them into music.
So on that note, I have a question about a particular track that I played on my show a couple nights ago. If you remember back to Wednesday. Oh, Black Spring.
Black
Ooh.
Spring.
Sorry.
Another one of my favorites, Roob.
So yeah, tell me about that one. I remember mentioning on the air how it just seems to build and build, and there's some power behind it, and you don't know how it's going to resolve. If it's going to resolve ugly, or I don't know. It made me feel not tense, but just I was engaged with it. And it kept building. Was that the intention there? What's going on? Did I say something?
Oh, you're nailing everything. Like all the things that I was telling Parker this whole time about like what I felt and what I hope people would get out of it. You're hitting all the keywords right now.
Okay.
That's why I'm so excited.
Wow. You didn't even tell me these keywords in advance.
No.
But it was really
Again, that's Parker.
Oh,
Parker's a huge
man.
part of that song. I mean, I produced the beat, but he brought the idea initially. So I give a ton of credit to Parker on everything that you're saying right now.
Yeah, and I mean that was the one I selected out of the 10, 12 tracks. I don't even know. That was the one. I mean, I wanted to play them all, but you know that's really not fair to other artists in the city. Then it becomes, you know, the Elephants in the Room show, and there's no room.
We don't mind.
It's not elephants in the room, you know.
Elephants in the room.
Yeah. Anyway,
Elephants in the room.
Yeah.
Parker, you were very vague. In fact, you didn't really respond to Wednesday night when you recorded the bumper for the show about what that song was about. You said it's up to you, but can you provide a clue?
That song was written last year, and it is kind of a bullseye to something that's happening right now. And I think it has a lot
Spring, by the way, is the track.
Black Spring is the track, and it is about, oh man, I think it's about the evolution, and I think it's about people advancing, and
Ooh.
it's also about, on a personal level for me, it's about me coming to grips with things that I've done and the weight of those things, and just all mixed up together. It's like a healthy, heavy therapy session.
I needed a little therapy after listening to it 1,100 times. But you know, as we pointed out here in this Zoom, is that, you know, there's some personal stuff on there for you, Parker. But Edgar, GarGar, is there anything, you know, deeply personal about you, or are you part of some of these songs that way?
I do feature on one of the songs called Winter. I think for that one, I was really feeling the beat, and I think I told Parker, let me take a crack at writing a verse for this one. And yeah, and I just kind of took the things I was feeling at the time in terms of being like a parent, and for whatever reason at the time, I was just thinking about my legacy with my kids, and
Okay.
like, you know, what that's going to be and what I'm doing now to shape it the way I hope that it ends up. So yeah, I was just real honest in terms of like how I was feeling like, man, am I doing enough? Am I doing anything wrong here? Am I doing, am I doing a good job? Like, what are they going to think of me when I am older? That whole feeling, as you
Yeah.
start going up in age and you have kids and all that. And yeah, I just kind of poured it all out on the paper and winter came out.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear that you had that contribution to the album.
Yeah.
So it's deep and personal. We have established that fact right here. So tell me about who helped you with this album. Who else was involved?
Luke Henshaw. He mixed and mastered it. I think it was very in-house. It was just me and Gar. Gar did all the production. He was handling all the sampling. We both had a hand in all the video work that's come along with it. We did 3 videos so far. One shot by Chris Reyes of the Fresh State, and I wrote a lot of that, and Gar did like all the music for that. And then we did Confetti and Interlude, and like we both mixed ideas for that, did that with Halfway Home. Yeah, everything's just been kind of in-house. I don't know if we reached out to anybody else.
No, I think that was it.
I do want to say this. I want to say this. When Gar had the beat for Winter, and I'm not going to say who, but I had somebody fire in mind for that. And he was like, let me take a crack. I was in my house. I never told Gar this. I was in my house rehearsing what I was going to say to be like, hey, I think this person could really use this spot more than you. And what he came with was so real. So I was like, nah, we gotta go. we gotta go with this. Like, so we were gonna go with somebody else. We were gonna go with somebody else there, and we didn't. Yeah.
Glad to hear that.
That's good. I mean, kept close to the vest. It sounds like you could have had, if you told me 40 people help with the album, I would believe you. It's
oh, wow.
good. It's so solid. So it comes out on Friday, today, as we're watching this video today, Friday the 13th. And what do we do? How do we get it? Tell us about it. We're not just going to sit here. We have to act.
All the usual streaming platforms, Spotify, Apple Music. We'll put it up on Bandcamp. And I think the plan, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, get some vinyl. Yeah.
What I was asking about.
As expensive as that is, like, that's something I've never done in all the projects I've made, is actually press vinyl. So for me, that's a goal, and Parker agrees. So, hopefully shortly, in the near future, we can get some vinyl put together, even if it's a super short limited edition run or something like that.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. Maybe you can sell it in some local record shops too.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So there was something I forgot to mention earlier this summer. You had some involvement with a beer company regarding this album.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did we get you beer yet, man?
I had a beer.
Good.
Yeah. You did a personal drop off at my house.
I thought we did, but
yeah.
I try and hang out with you whenever I can, and we don't always have beer, but
no.
Yeah. Amplified Ales did a couture designer beer, the Elephants in the Room lager, and we still have couple cases stashed away that we'll be releasing with the album this weekend. It's still available. Gar can tell you the exact place that it's available. And it's tasty, served best chilled, and I think we are the first rap group in San Diego to ever have a beer endorsement. Yeah. I think we are.
All right. So what we talked about before we started going live here on Zoom is that I didn't even bring up your legacies, both of your legacies of all these San Diego Music Award wins and nominations with Parker Meridian and with the Knee Highs and with Jumbotron. You guys, there's no room left on the trophy shelf, right? What are you gonna do?
No, I have some room. Parker's the one with no room, man.
I guess if you count the nominations.
We could do two more. We still could make room for two more this
There we go.
upcoming.
All right.
Yeah.
You better
Yeah,
submit this
yeah.
album. It's bitching.
Roob approved.
Yeah.
There we go.
Well, anything else? Any shout outs before we hit the road?
I do want to shout out Amplified L's. Thank them for their support. I want to shout out the Fresh State and Platform Collection. Go to Platform Collection and you can listen to parts of the album there. And of course, watch the Run Rick film short, which stars Rick Scales and Vinnie Vardell, shot by Chris Reyes of the Fresh State. And we
Fresh
got
State is a hip hop collective here in town. For those who don't know,
absolutely. And go check out the Confetti video by Halfway Home and go to their Patreon and check out the interlude video and keep your eyes open for where to get that beer and listen to the album pronto.
Yes. GarGar.
Oh, yeah, I mean, he took the whole list. Yeah, I think Parker covered it. I mean, I'll shout out my kids, Enzo and Echo, my inspirations. But other than that, yeah, Parker got all the, he covered all the names, made me look bad.
Yo.